Hedy Lamarr's idea sparked a chain reaction, an explosion of wireless devices. Since the year 2000, mobile data traffic has increased nearly 400 million times, and much of this growth has come in the developing world. The invention that Hedy hoped would save the world has instead transformed it.
Cultures are now skipping a generation of technology. Developing cultures where there was no telephone, there was no running water, there was no electricity. Now you bring a cell phone into that village and its horizons expand unimaginably.
It will be 1 billion handsets in Africa in 2016, which is extraordinary. The poorest on the planet can afford a mobile phone.
This idea of wireless mobility will change the way people think about themselves, about national boundaries, about education, about almost everything.
Wireless now covers the Earth almost like a layer of atmosphere. It's easier than ever before to stay connected. But are we really more connected to the people around us?
What is the impact of technology on our daily lives? Interactions are being always mediated by a technological device. It is not all benign.
It's getting noisier and noisier.
You have to move away from the noise.
What if you could live somewhere truly quiet, without all the wireless noise? Welcome to the Quiet Zone.
We're in the middle of what's called the National Radio Quiet Zone. And it's an area that is unique in North America.
It's 13,000 square miles. About the size of Massachusetts and Connecticut combined.
At the heart of the Quiet Zone lies the town of Green Bank, West Virginia, home of the largest steerable radio telescope in the world. The Quiet Zone was created to protect it.
The Green Bank telescope is a Swiss watch the size of a football stadium. But while it is so enormous, its tolerances are measured in fractions of a millimeter.
We're talking about a telescope that stands taller than the Statue of Liberty. But the reflector surface is 2.3 acres in size. The bigger the bucket, the more raindrops you catch.
Today, the telescope is on the cutting edge of SETI, the search for extraterrestrial intelligence.
In recent years, we've discovered with the Green Bank telescope the basic organic molecules, the kind of things that in some sense are the building blocks of life, floating out in the gas between the stars.
But these discoveries come at a price. Radio silence for hundreds of miles in all directions. Unlike traditional telescopes, radio telescopes don't see, they listen for radio waves. In the 1950s, astronomers built the telescope here because it was a quiet place to do just that. Listen.
The observatory started in the 50s. And they picked Green Bank specifically. They say we are the quietest place on Earth, so I don't know. Maybe this is the last quiet place there is.
For Green Bank residents, this doesn't just mean radio silence. It means wireless silence.
Yeah, so living in Green Bank does have its challenges. Can't have a cordless phone. Forget a cellular phone.
There's no cell towers here.
Wireless speakers. Wireless headphones.
Garage door openers cause problems.
Electric fence around someone's garden.
Microwaves.
Bluetooth devices.
Remote control cars.
PS4s, Wii's, Nintendos.
It's the craziest things that you would never think would cause interference that do.
But the telescope's biggest threat is Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi here just completely overwhelms what we're trying to do. What's also amazing, though, is that we're beginning to interact with the internet as if it is the only other social
being we have in our lives. And that is the dangerous part, I think.
Mike's idea made me wonder, what about being a teenager in a disconnected town? Would you feel you're missing out?
One of the girls that just recently moved to this school asked me when she first moved here if we had cell phone service. She was like, I can't get any service on my cell phone. I was like, you're not going to.
This is Greenbanks Middle School, in the shadow of the Greenbank Telescope.
Say you're here, and then you go to like New York or Maryland.
I mean, you even see people just
walking across the sidewalk.
Yeah, they're just staring at their screens.
Yeah. Becky liked my status. Oh, Bob commented. I totally got to respond to that.
I think honestly, if like the internet crashed here right now and we had no internet, we could survive. City people sit on the side of the road and wait for all these people to come get them, and we can get out and change our tire and get back in and go home like we need to. We don't have to call people on our cell phones. We actually drive to their house and knock on their front door.
Yeah. I like the quiet zone.
I like the quiet zone.
We all like the quiet zone.
I feel sometimes that we are the control population for a gigantic experiment being played on humanity by the telecommunications industry. We are living without the benefits and distractions of cellular technology. I'm basically shocked at what I see. I see people standing next to one another, diddling with their little devices. It feels to me like, while I wasn't looking, the whole world took up cigarette smoking.
Elsewhere, the internet is attached to you all the time. Whether you're purposefully utilizing it or not, it's doing something with your device, even when it's in your pocket. But you're tethered to it. Here, you're not tethered to it.
It's interesting to think that something special has happened here. But in fact, it's almost the opposite. It's something weird has happened everywhere else.
Greenbankers may enjoy their radio silence, but for the rest of us, living without our mobile devices wouldn't just be unpleasant, it would be impossible.
We are outsourcing our memories into these devices, and we're so dependent on them now. There's no backup system.
Most college-age students say they can't go a day device-free.
For many people, the cell phone has become a body appendage. They can't not be with it. Information is essentially their third skin.
The library of all human knowledge is now just a screen away. We may think this means we're getting smarter, but we're relying more and more on machines to do the thinking for us. What used to be research has been replaced with search. Google search. In 1998, Larry Page and Sergey Brin launched Google to unravel the tangle of information on the web. They did this using algorithms. They used one algorithm to index the web, and another one to rank the results from the billions of pages in the index.
They gave you the ability to effectively search through every page of every book in the library.
PageRank, Google's ranking algorithm, decided which page would be in the coveted first place.
The more links you got, the more PageRank score you get, but it could be that somebody could have fewer links, but from more important places, those links would count for more. And that was their secret sauce.
PageRank worked so well that Google quickly became synonymous with search. But while search results often number in the millions or even billions, usually only 10 matter.
Typically, you see 10 search results on the first page. 50% of our clicks go to the top 2 search results. 50%. And most people never look beyond the first page. But what we have begun to realize is that search rankings are impacting decisions people make about everything.
We let Google decide what's the best information for us. But with millions of results that may match your query, why do you get these 10?
Hey guys, today I wanted to give you my answer to the big question, how to rank number 1 in Google.
When Google designed its algorithm, it inadvertently created a new industry, search engine optimization.
Today we're going to talk about great SEO and what I believe Google wants.
There's a new Google ranking factor that's huge right now.
Really sneaky and really clever, that tactic, so make sure you implement that.
These experts have learned how to optimize a website's structure or content to make it a top result.
The algorithm is the key to cracking Google. Now, what if I told you that we have cracked Google's formula?
All too often, we focus on beating the Google bot rather than feeding the Google bot.
Whether a website knows how to feed the Googlebot might determine which brand of dog food you purchase. It may affect where you apply to college. And it could even impact an election.
We believe that because it's a computer program operating, however it's happening, we can trust it. The algorithm has to put things into an order. So what if the algorithm itself ends up favoring one candidate over another? Is the activity on Google, in fact, creating more interest in a candidate and in turn generating more votes?
But this problem isn't limited to search engines.
Facebook has run experiments manipulating the outcomes of elections. I mean, the way they do it is they can actually make you more likely to vote.
If Facebook just sent out go out and vote reminders, but they sent them only to people of one political party, if they did that on voting day, they could easily flip an election.
Backlash brewing against Facebook.
Former Facebook insider calling it, quote, absolutely biased. An article posted Monday said Facebook workers suppressed conservative-leaning news stories in its trending section.
People thought this was outrageous because here's this neutral technical system and then opinionated humans were coming in and mucking with it. But that's an absurd way to look at these things. There are no neutral technological systems.
Today, the most advanced algorithms are artificial intelligence programs called neural networks. Like dogs, these AIs aren't programmed, they're trained. A process called machine learning.
Toy duck. Yes, that is correct.
The next generation of robots will learn like an insect or a baby.